Well. Look who was right. Again, I I would be sad usually if a game franchise shut down, but I honestly don't care if the final shuts down at this point. It's just like it's a game that deserves to fail. It's a game that deserves to fail. They have literally made all the wrong moves. They continue to make moves that are increasingly more stupid and don't make a lot of sense. And this season in particular, they have just made all the wrong moves. They took away the revive mechanic from Team Deathmatch as if that was not a play that people were depending on. They tried shortening the defibrillator. What do you call function down by like making it like less than infinite, and then they just took it away altogether. Now this made sense to me. This is something that should have been done. They should have done from the beginning. But I do not understand why they took away Bankit. Again, that was the only game I actually signed up for. That's why I like this game. I want to tell you a story about me, as a matter of fact. For a period of time, I was unemployed, so I had to go start doing DoorDash to make some extra income because, like I said, I lost the job that I had. So I was just like, hey, it's all right. I'm not going to sit home and game all the time. I'm going to come back to the finals when I have time to, because I knew that this game was going to be extraordinary. I was wrong because not only when I came back did they change aspects of the game that I loved, but they took it away entirely. And so they're just like, hey, yeah, bank it. Yeah, it might be the only game that you play and the only reason that you play this game, but we're taking it away. We don't care. We think that this game is going in a different direction. It's like, this is the thing I don't like about live service games. They think they always have to change their game. It's like, hey, here's something that is a crazy idea. Maybe the thing that people like, you keep part of your game. Just a crazy idea. Just a crazy notion. Maybe the thing that people come here for and come to play, you keep part of your game for the long term. For 20 years out, for 30 years out, for 50 years out. I could have played Bankit every single day and been fine. But no. It's a live service game, so we got to evolve. We got to keep changing. We got to, keep people paying for our thing. I would absolutely pay for new skins for the game. Still playing Bankit every single day. But hey, don't listen to me. Hey, you guys know what you're doing. You guys are the experts, right? So they took away Bankit, and I was distraught for the first, I'm going to say 3 seasons. I'm just like, please bring it back. And they didn't. They did not. It was gone season 5. And that was when they brought Team Deathmatch in. And it was gone season 5. It was gone season 6. It's on season 7. And now we're on season 8, and I'm just like, they've made it worse since then. I kind of wish I could tell you the story of, like, the whole game through. And I might put down points of each season, how it got progressively better, unique, and then worse. And this season is obviously the worst season of all, because, again, they've taken away Bankit, and now they've taken away the second mode that I knew that was probably going to get taken away, was Terminal Attack, which, again, I'm not really heartbroken about that. I liked that game, but I didn't feel like it needed to be part of the game, and it was one of those games that if it got removed, it made sense because it was different than all the other games. That being said, they've sacrificed the unique aspects of the game that people exclusively came here for making their game more like Call of Duty and more like other shooters. And it's just like, so let me get this straight. You have unique aspects of the game that people love and come here for, and you trade those for aspects of the game that are like other games, and so you can be, in essence, less competitive. Like, I don't understand the logic. Why would you take away aspects of your game that make you more competitive, that give you a competitive edge, only to do something that, in essence, makes you less competitive, less capable of being able to be like a competitor to any of these other games? And instead of realizing like that's what they're doing, they just seem to like think that it's a good marketing move, and it's like it's not. Anyway, it's yeah. I mean, I'm grossed out by their behavior because it's not. Just kidding. All right, that was a joke. That was bad. What is the word? Play on words, but no, they are boogery because they just don't seem to understand the things that people like about their game. And the unique aspects of their game was the thing that made them stand out. Not only that, but what drew people in. I hated cash out and quick cash, and I still do. I do not play that game whatsoever because every time you get taken out, you have to sit there and wait for your team to either revive you or to hope that your team doesn't get team wiped. And 9 times out of 10, I'm on a team that gets team wiped because I'm not great at quick cash or cash out. Again, when there are more options, I kind of do better on that. But even that, I'm just like, I do not like this game. I do not like this game. That was the first game that they, as a tutorial, introduced you to. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to play this. As a matter of fact, I watched a review before I even played the finals. I'm like, is this game any good? And I played cash out. I'm like, no, this game is trash. I'm never playing this. And then I played Bank It. And Bank It is the much simpler, more efficient version of that game, which is get coins, deposit them for your team, you win. Okay, cool. I don't have to be good at this game then. I can just do that and focus on that strategy and at least play that way in the game. And so there'd be times I would, again, get taken out every 3 seconds, but if I was able to get a load of coins, I was able to deposit it for my team, and boom. And no, it wasn't easy, because there'd be times I would get caught and, like, someone would take all my coins, or there'd be times I'd have, like, a buku huge amount of coins and it would just get snatched away by the enemy. But that was the thing that was invigorating, because I would have to learn how to, like, avoid being trapped by a light or a heavy or a medium with all these, like, different weapons that were coming, like, going against me. But if I was able to get out of that situation, one, that taught me to be innovative, and two, that taught me how to be crafty. So that was the thing I really liked about the game, because it really taught you to say, okay, you have something that's valuable that every other person wants, and if you can protect it long enough to get it to cast out for your team, you have a chance of winning, even if you're not good at this game. So it what do you call it? Not required. What is the word? Spurred a level of creativity in which you would play the game. And so, again, out of all the games I played on the finals, Bank It had to be the one I had to be the most crafty with, because of all the different ways you could play the game. As a matter of fact, my friend actually taught me some strategies on how to play the game. There was the sit and wait strategy, where you would go to Bank It areas and wait for them to come and then ambush them, take their coins, and then deposit them that way. There was the objective strategy, where you just got coins and you just went and deposited them without trying to actually get in any conflict or such. Or you could be someone who's really good at the game and play like Team Deathmatch and steal coins from enemies with your weapons and such. And so there was a lot of different ways you could play the game. If you were really good at, like, Team Deathmatch, or, like I said, they didn't have Team Deathmatch at the time, but if you're really good at Team Deathmatch, you could have taken someone's coins and then deposited them for your team, because you understood how to use weapons in the most, like, efficient way possible, and you could have stolen them from the enemy that had a whole bunch of coins. So there was a lot of skill sets that you could use in this game. If you were really good at, like, playing it like a first person shooter, again, you could just play like Team Deathmatch and you could get a lot of coins. If you were not good at that, you could have gotten a light and just dashed around, just not got caught, and then boom, deposited that way. But there was always risk. There was always action. There was always so much going on at once, and it was such a fun game. And obviously there was times where team wipes would happen, and that wouldn't be as fun. But then they took that away the season after that, and I was like, oh, this is even better now, because now you can get back into the action quicker without having to worry about a team wipe. And so, again, when they took away team wipe and made it where you can get back into the action much quicker, I fell in love with that game. I was like, I could play this every single day and not bat an eye. This is something I can do. Not bat an eye. I'm not sure if that's the right term, but I can play this game and be happy. Like, this is just a game that is just so invigorating, so constantly dynamic, and so often changing. And they took it away. Out of nowhere. They did not announce this. They didn't imply they were going to take it away. They just, boom, took it away next season. I'm just like, what the? And so the thing that really made me upset about this is because they had brought Team Deathmatch into the fold. They were like, hey, we're going to introduce Team Deathmatch and see how well it does. And it did extraordinary. So I was like, hey, Team Deathmatch is going to make me better at Bank It, because I'm going to be better at defending my coins. I'm going to be better with my weapon usage. And I'm going to be more capable of being able to create strategies in order to do well in Bank It maps. And they took it away. They took Bank It away. Now, I was able to play Bankit a few more years before they completely removed it from the game entirely. But that was only because I found a Discord group that was like, hey, we still play Bankit in practice mode, or not practice mode, but private matches. I'm like, cool. As long as you can get a group of people who can actually play this game, I'm all for it. So, again, those people were really good. I was not the best, but I was still able to utilize some of my strategies in those matches. As a matter of fact, shoot, we had teams that were just teams of one versus teams of three. And those teams of one were so good at the game, they were able to, like, beat the teams of three in Bankit. And I'm like, see, this is why I'm talking about there's different skill sets that Bankit actually allowed people to have. If you were someone who was, like, really good at the game, you didn't need your team to win. You could have, like, literally been the one cashing out for your team, and your team could have just either been protecting you and or assisting you, and you would have, like, won the game. Again, that was the cool thing about Bankit. It tailored to different skill levels and helped different people win the game who might not have had the skill, but might have had the strategy. And so, again, they took that aspect away from the game. I can literally just go for hours on just how great Bankit was, and the fact that they just took it away. And I'm just like, I don't understand why you would have taken away such a good, innovative, creative, unique game out of your system. And on top of that, not like there's not any other game that has any comparison to the objective, the play, the smoothness, the stakes, all of this. Like, I'm just gonna write down the points of just like what things they had in their game that made that game mode so extraordinary. And then for them to just out of nowhere, with no sort of like any real warning, they just took it away. And yes, I'm sure a lot of people felt burned from that. So, like, I'm pretty sure people left then, and I wanted to leave then. I'm like, I'm holding on to hope that they'll bring that game back. And they just spit in my face. That's all they did. They just spit in my face like, you think we're gonna give you your game back, the game that you love playing, the one that you came to play every single day, the thing you signed up for this game for, the reason you played hours upon hours and what felt like days at a time on this game? Yeah, right. No, we're gonna make your game worse and take the unique aspect of the game away and burn it up. And so I kind of feel bad for what's his name, Kalshi or whatever. Like, I don't know what his name is. He's a guy who just hopped into the finals. Like, yeah, this game is good, and no one's playing it, so hop onto it. I'm just like, I feel bad for you because you just vouched for this game, and they have marketably made the game worse. Because ever since that video, they've since taken away Terminal Attack, and I'm like, Terminal Attack was the better version of Rainbow Six Siege that you can actually jump on. You can't jump on Rainbow Six Siege. I know that's a stupid thing when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege, but you cannot jump on Rainbow Six Siege because it's a stealth game. It's a stealth and strategy game. It's fun, but it is a stealth and strategy game, so jumping is not a thing you can do, which kind of makes the game feel slow and methodical, and it is slow and methodical, but it's also high stakes. So it's fun in terms of that. Like, it's a very fun game, but it also feels kind of slow paced. And if you're not someone who likes a slow paced, methodical type of game, you're not going to enjoy it. So, yeah, Terminal Attack was the much better, cooler version of that. And I'm going to probably release some videos with commentary over it, just to show you what's going on. But I loved Bankit. I loved Terminal Attack. They took both of those away, and then they've made Team Deathmatch noticeably worse. I was gonna say marketably, but I meant noticeably. They took away the revive mechanic. They took away the ability to use the defibrillators, which this should have been something that was done in the beginning, but they just did it now. And again, I think them taking away Terminal Attack for a lot of people was the final straw. It's just like, all right, well, then we don't even know why we're playing this game. I don't even touch head-to-head. Head-to-head is a game, it's just quick cash with fewer teams. I'm like, I don't like quick cash. It's not a game I enjoy playing. It's never a game I enjoy playing. And the fact that they're trying so hard to push this game and say, you want to play this game? It's like, no, I don't. And you can look at the Steam numbers. Neither does anyone else. That's why it's like only 10,000 players a day now, where it used to be 20,000 and 30,000. It's like, yeah, you just lost like 2/3 of your your base, because it's just like no one likes quick cash. For the people who do, cool, you're playing this competitively. I don't like that game. I will not play it. I will not touch it. It is not a game I'm gonna sit down and play, because again, when I get taken out, I'm sitting out of the match for 20 seconds, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and just watch my team play. And on top of that, the only time I actually enjoy sitting out in the match and watching for 20 seconds is Power Shift, because at least in that mode, I know there's a possibility I can get revived. There is no possibility during Quick Cash, because you're trying to protect your cash out. It's just like, so you have to defend against the enemy or the enemies while trying to at some point try to get your teammate back up. It's like, that's not going to happen. You might as well just defend the area, and I'll just spawn back in when I can. And if I can't spawn back in, well, I'm useless, as always. So, yay, I'm sitting outside the match, waiting and watching while my team hopefully doesn't get team respawn. Because if it does, then I'm going to be waiting even longer. And I promise you so many times, when I get taken out and then we get team respawn, we get team wiped, I want to just rage quit right there. I'm just like, I don't want to play this game. I do not want to play this game. I'm sitting out more than I'm actually playing the game. And I'm just like, this is not fun. This is not fun. This is not enjoyable. I play FPS games because they're fast paced. If I'm sitting out for half that match in the game that is probably arguably one of the fastest paced games on the market, it's just like, how are you simultaneously one of the fastest quick react type games, and then also punishing people by keeping them out of the game longer? Like, you're fighting against the psychology of the gameplay, because what you're saying is this game is really fast paced, but also if you get taken out, you're going to be out for 20 seconds, and you don't think 20 seconds is that long, unless you're not doing anything. If you're sitting there not being able to press buttons, not being able to have any interaction or have anything to do with the game, because you have to watch your teammates play, and then 20 seconds later, boom, you're going to be back in the game. It's like, so I have to wait 20 seconds to respawn in? Oh yeah, no, I don't want to play this. No, I'd rather be playing Call of Duty. I can skip the replay and get back in 10 seconds or 5 seconds, as opposed to waiting a whole 20 seconds to wait to help my teammate back out. And don't even I said it up wrong. Not to mention the times you get back in the game, and literally as soon as you're back in, you have a light with a shotgun, and boom, 2 shots, you're gone. It's like, I just got back in. I literally just got back in. And it's just like, oh yeah, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. The stakes are way too high. The reward is way too low. No, I don't want to do this. Again, if I wanted to play a game where I had to wait out most of the game, I just would go to a different game. But this is not fun. So again, the fact that, and then they are determined, this is another word. They're just dead set on making you play cash out. Like, you want to play cash out. You want to play quick cash. No, I fucking don't. I'm going to make this as simple as possible. I do not want to play that game. I do not wish to endure that game. That game is not fun for me. It has never been fun for me. It was the reason I was going to uninstall the game when I first got this. Then I discovered Bankit, and I'm just like, oh, this game is actually worth it. Then they took that game away. And the only thing I'm going to be, again, for real with you, the only reason I was still holding on to the fact that I will still play this game is the fact that I believe that maybe one day they would come to their senses and actually enjoy this game. They would actually let people enjoy Bankit again. I was thinking that they would actually understand, they would see the protests, they would see the people who were complaining about the fact that it was gone, and they would listen. But they are not Sonic. And Sonic was smart. This is how Sonic was smart, because here's the thing. They made a mistake, and they used it as a marketing strategy. What they did was they were like, okay, we're going to release this version of Sonic. This version of Sonic is terrible. Do not release this. You know what? We're going to make Sonic a little cuter. We're going to make him more appealing. We're going to make him closer to the character on the video game. They heard the criticism. They reacted. And now their franchise has been doing extraordinary ever since. The Finals, on the other hand, is just like, yeah, we don't care. Oh, you want Bankit back? That's cool. We don't care. We know what we're doing. And it's like, all right, so when you lose your player base and people stop coming to your game and stop playing your game, don't say I didn't tell you so. Because I'm just like, I'm not even surprised if this game gets shut down at this point. Because I've said this like a few times. I've not said it enough times on like recording or like put it out in the world. So this is something I say to myself all the time. It's like, if this game gets shut down, I don't care at this point. And the reason it is quite simple, because it's like, I love this game. I really want it to succeed, but they keep doing things that are not making sense. They keep making decisions that don't make any sense, and they do things that burn the player base. And I'm just like, I don't think they care enough about their player base. They think that they know what they're doing in terms of what the players want. And again, people begged for Bankit to come back. They didn't listen. Then again, Terminal Attack was being talked about, that it was going to be taken away. I'm just like, all right, well, I mean, if they had taken Terminal Attack away and then taken away Bankit, I probably would have been on board. But the fact they took away Bankit, and then again, the only way you could play it was practice, which I only was able to find a group of people who wanted to play Bankit. I'm gonna say around season 6 or 7, and I was only able to do it then. And so they still had Terminal Attack at that point. And then they took away Terminal Attack. I'm like, what aspects of your game do you still have? It's like, well, we have Quick Cash. Don't like that game. That game is trash. Head to Head, that is the same game. It's just with less people. Power Shift, that game has become really hard now because of the healing meta. And I'm not going to say that the healing meta is a bad thing. I think it's a great thing. But it is really, really, really crazy and hard to play now because of the healing meta. What's the other thing? And then Team Deathmatch. Why would I come here to play Team Deathmatch? If I could play anywhere else that would be just as fast-paced and just as dynamic, why would I come here to play Team Deathmatch? The only reason I play Team Deathmatch at all is because it's the closest thing to Bankit. But I've looked at my score, I've looked at my play time or my play ability, and I've never been the top person on the team. As a matter of fact, I'm usually the person with the least amount of kills and the most amount of deaths. That is usually my area on the team. We win sometimes, we lose sometimes, but no matter how much I play this game, I'm usually the person with the most deaths and the least amount of kills. And I'm just like, all right, sometimes I actually carry the team. Sometimes I do decent on the game. But most of the time, again, my area when I play, it's usually I'm usually taking out the most amount of times, and I usually get the least amount of kills. Now, most of the time, a lot of that is because I use the swords, which is any melee weapon is hard to use. I'm not going to say you can't be good at the game with melee weapons, but it's kind of hard to be good at the game with melee weapons. It's fun, but it's hard. And again, when I use like a heavy with a flamethrower, again, I usually can carry the team. But at the same time, it's like, this isn't fun. It's not fun for me. I don't enjoy this. I don't find fun in it. Again, the aspects of the game I enjoyed were Bankit and Terminal Attack, and Team Deathmatch to me feels repetitive in a way that I don't like. And on top of that, with them changing different aspects of how Team Deathmatch plays now, it's just like, so now this game is just really fast-paced, but repetitive. And it's like, okay, well, that's cool. So, I could be playing something like Call of Duty as opposed to this game, because it plays the same. The only difference is one slightly faster. It's like, okay, but what makes your game special? Like, what makes your game stand out? It's like, well, I mean, we do this and they do that. And it's like, no, you do the same thing. So, you have Quick Cash, which is trash. Head to Head, which is trash. Power Shift, which is hard because of the healing meta. And Team Deathmatch, which is the same as any other game. And why would I brag about your game to other people? I won't. I have no reason to. See, there's something about me. I helped my friend buy a PS5 so we could play the finals. And then season 5, they took away Bankit. I don't talk about this game to anybody anymore. And the reason why? Why would I vouch for a game that plays like every other game and is no longer special? It's not. It used to be very good. It used to be a very awesome game. And then they took away the aspects of the game that made it cool. So I'm like, I'm not going to vouch for something or someone if they're just going to, at the end of the day, just like, I'm not going to say leave me disappointed. Offer a product that's disappointing in essence, really. And I'm just like, why would I vouch for this? Again, I was vouching endlessly from season 3 on out about how great this game was and how you should play it and how you should download it and it's free to play. Now I don't talk about it to my friends anymore. I'm just like, I don't really want to like tell people to come play this game because it's not as fun as it used to be. And here's the thing that's crazy about this. I can't help myself. I will still go to people and say, hey, this game's pretty cool. And then I'll realize, oh yeah, they took away all the aspects of the game that were cool. So now someone's going to play this game or try it out and they'll be like, no, this is trash. And again, half the people I've talked to about the game have said the same thing. Yeah, I tried it once and I couldn't get into it. And I'm just like, it already was a unique game. And by them taking away the aspects of the game that actually made it cool, I can't vouch for it now. Because I'm just like, I was vouching for it because it had things that made it cool and unique and things that made it stand out. Now it's like every other game. And it's just like, okay. So the fact that people are falling off of the finals and no longer playing it at the same level makes full sense to me. Because they didn't listen to their player base. They don't care about what their player base wants. And they think that they know better. And I'm like, all right, well, then I guess I will just go ahead and have to uninstall this game. Because I'm just like, it's just going to be disappointing for me. Like I said, when I looked in that corner and I did not see Bankit in where it used to be, I wanted to uninstall it then. I'm just like, okay, but I'll hold on to hope that they'll bring it back. They never did. And I don't think they ever will. So this is the story at the end of the finals, at least for me anyways. And again, I really don't like that. I really don't like thinking of the fact that I'm not going to play this game anymore. It's like, am I going to get the same level of enjoyment as I did when I started playing Season 3 or Season 4 or Season 5? So I think Season 4 was the best season ever. And then Season 5, the fact that they didn't change much, but they kept the music the same. I love that. Because it's just like, okay, you guys are understanding that consistency is something that's valued. No, because then they immediately changed it Season 6. They immediately changed it Season 6. That's when they actually took away Bankit, I believe, entirely. No, I don't know. I need to double check this. But I know I liked Season 4 and Season 5. I think I still had the illusion that they might bring it back and the hope that they might bring it back. I didn't make any content during that point. I was actually going to release some of my old videos and make an appeal as to why they should bring Bankit back. But then I deleted all my stuff on my PS5. That was a funny story. Might as well tell you what happened there. My internet has been ravaged by squirrels. I literally have squirrels living in my wall, unfortunately, because I have one of those wooden houses, and apparently they just decided to live here. So what I didn't understand about the PS5 is that if it has any internet issue, it will not let you connect to the internet. So if there's like anything that's even slightly slow, it's just like, we just won't let you connect to the internet. Now, the PS3 and the PS4 can coexist. Okay, they can coexist with slow internet, but the PS5 will not. It will not let you do anything, will not let you access anything if it is slightly slow. And I didn't realize this was a thing, because it'll basically default and not let you like access any of your stuff until any speed with the internet is addressed. So what I have since learned is that in order to fix that issue, you pretty much have to unplug your PS5 and then put it back in order to reset it. I straight up just reset the whole thing and just wiped the whole thing. And I was thinking that PS5 or cloud storage kept all my media gallery stuff. But I also was thinking that I was going to I think I thought I had put it on my external drive, and no, that was a PS4 one, which I don't think that would have actually held all those videos. But no, I thought usually I don't think about that stuff. I usually already have that stuff set up in a way where if I have memories of something, I'm putting all that stuff on the external, so nothing's lost and I can pick up where I left off. I didn't have like a decent amount of money at the time, so I wasn't able to buy an external for a PS5, and I had the PS4 one that does work with it, but it doesn't store PS5 information, which is kind of upsetting and annoying, but it is the way it is. Either way, so I didn't move those files over to the PS4 one because I don't think it allowed it to, and I was still thinking that cloud storage was going to keep it in place. Either way, when I set it up and factory reset it, it did delete all that stuff. And so my whole plan to make videos using like old videos of me playing Bankit and me playing Terminal Attack as an appeal to like the finals or the finals devs, that fell through because I didn't have that footage anymore. Again, I have a little bit of footage from my last game of Bankit, which is before they shut it down last season, but even that is just like, I don't think I can really make an appeal with this. I mean, I can do what I can to try to make my point, but I don't think they really care because, again, they are not Sonic. They are not Paramount. They're not going to listen to their player base. What they're instead going to do is like, we are the devs and we do what we want. And it's just like, okay, well, if your game fails in and it continues to stay close to 10,000 players as opposed to the 20,000 and 30,000 that you had on a regular basis, I'm not going to be surprised if that number continues to dwindle down because, again, your game isn't special anymore. It used to be dynamic and niche and cool and different than all the other games, but you took all the unique aspects of your game and just tossed them, burned them up, and you're like, we don't want them anymore. These aren't useful anymore, and we aren't going to tailor to these anymore. Instead, what we're going to do is just take them away and toss them because they're not valuable. And it's like, you really think that the aspects of your game that people came here for, that they enjoyed exclusively on your game, are not valuable enough to keep? Yeah, you don't really care about your player base then. That's the simplest way to put it. You don't seem to care about your player base. If you think that the aspects that people specifically come here for, the things that people enjoy exclusively on your game. Again, I had a friend who was playing this game who only played Terminal Attack. That's the only game they played. And then they took it away. It's just like, yeah, I'm not playing this game anymore. I was like, I don't blame you. I'm only here because I'm delusional enough to think that they might bring Bankit back. And I was wrong, and I've been disappointed ever since. And so, I mean, that's my problem for being that delusional. That's my problem for being that hopeful. That's my problem for thinking that they might actually listen to their player base and actually hear what, their player base is saying. But it's just like, obviously, they won't hear it. And so, again, I've been playing this season just thinking, like, this season is trash. This season is trash. It feels worse to play. It doesn't feel as fun to play. They've taken away all the games that I have enjoyed playing, and Team Deathmatch is the only thing I'm ever going to touch. Because I'm not playing I'm not playing Power Shift unless I have a friend with me, and even then I'm just like, I don't want to play this game. Because again, the only games that I find even worth playing are Team Deathmatch and Power Shift. And I'm not touching Quick Cash, I'm not touching Head to Head, and it's just like, those are just games I don't want to play. They're just not games I enjoy playing. And so the fact that they've just changed the landscape of what this game used to be, and the options, again, why would you take options away from your player base? I don't understand this. Why would you take options away from your player base? I really want to understand the logic behind this. You have games that people are here for, and that they enjoy playing, and you take options away? What? I've never seen a game do that. I've heard of people like say a service being shut down, and so that's why you can't access that game. Okay, fine. You just shut down the servers. That makes sense. But you just taking away options that were there from like the beginning season, it's just like, you guys don't care about your player base at all. Not only that, but are you doing this for money? Because it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense if that's what people are playing for. Like, look, let's just talk about this from a marketing standpoint. You want people to be engaged with their game, right? So why would you take away aspects of your game that keep people engaged? I don't understand the logic. Why would you take away aspects of your game that keep people engaged, that keep people buying more skins, that keep people buying more cosmetics, and you take away those aspects of the game? So yeah, they're not going to listen to the player base. They're never going to listen to me. They're never going to hear what I'm saying when I'm talking about this. But they took away the aspects of the game that were loved, and then they got mad when their player base went down. So again, I feel bad for the guy who vouched for them like I'm going to say 3 months ago, saying, yeah, this game's really good. And then they just changed more aspects of the game that made it worse. I'm just like, yeah, I can't. I'm off the ship on this one. I cannot be someone who's still vouching for this game when all they have offered is heartbreak and just bad decisions. I'm like, I can't continue to brag about how good this game is when it's not that. They have made all the wrong decisions. They've taken away engaging aspects of their game. They've taken away unique aspects of their game. And they don't listen to their player base. So I'm just like, I think it's just time for me to just jump ship on this one, because I'll just let it sink, let it fail, let it be, the service be taken offline. Yeah, I'll cry because that'll be my favorite game gone. But at this point, they just don't care about their player base enough to change it back to the way it used to be. They don't care about their player base enough to bring Banky back. They don't care enough about their player base to bring Terminal Tech back. They don't care enough about their player base enough to just make the game to keep it engaging. Instead, they keep trying to do the live service thing and be like, oh, we need to change the game to be more engaging. Your game is already engaging, and people already like aspects of your game. Why are you going to change the aspects of the game people like? Leave your game alone and add more cosmetics. Don't take things away. But, hey, I'm just a random guy on the internet with some rage because I loved what this game used to be and hate what it is now. So, yeah, I'm speaking to the choir. I'm preaching to the choir. I'm talking to no one because they're never going to hear me out on this, and I am just speaking to the wind. So I have lost all hope that they're ever going to understand that the decisions that they made are very stupid and very not smart. But it's just I really wanted this game to succeed, man. I really wanted this game to succeed, and they've just done everything to burn their player base. So I'm just like, yeah, the fact that the Steam numbers now are just 10,000 where it was 30,000 like on a regular basis before, and it's continuing to go down, doesn't surprise me. I am not in any way shocked because they just don't care about their player base. Like, they just don't. They care more about trying to stream this game and trying to make it more popular. But again, they're in the journey to be more approachable. They've made the game less enjoyable, and I'm just like, wow. You took away aspects of the game to be more beginner friendly. It's like, if you wanted this game to be beginner friendly, you would have kept Bankit. That's a game that beginners can play and could actually get into. But again, don't listen to my advice on this. Instead, you put the game is just sweaty now. If there's any way to describe the game in this stage, in this season, it's just sweaty. It's not like you have any fun. You are either really competitive or you're someone who wants to win the game all the time. But it's not casual. It is not a game that you can unwind with. It is a game that will stress you out more than actually make you feel like any sort of relaxation. And that's the whole game. It is not beginner friendly in any real capacity. Again, Bankit would have probably been the best game for people to start playing. If I had a rating system for how they should do the game, they would start with Bankit and then go to Power Shift and then go up to Team Deathmatch and then play when you want to play more competitively, play Quick Cash and Cash Out. If they had all those games on there, this game would be probably the top game in Steam. But they took 2 of those games away, and they've kept all the games that are highly competitive and very hard to play. Because with Team Deathmatch, unless you know how to fight against a light, which lights are like the fastest characters on the games with the most powerful weapons, you're cooked. You're cooked. You're not playing that game. You're probably just going to be like, why is this game so hard? It's like, because you're playing against people who play this game daily, and you're playing against people who have their strategies mastered and their weapons. They're very familiar with their weaponry and how to use the movement on this game to their advantage. Versus somebody who's just gotten in this game and they might be able to understand the movement, but having to also use that with weapon skills, that's very hard to craft all at once, to like understand all at once. And the fact that they expect like a new player to just like hop on board and be like, yeah, you can just hop into this. It's just like, you might be able to play Call of Duty, and you might be someone who might be a slide canceling champion. That being said, it is still going to be the sweatiest game you ever play. Like, it is still going to be the sweatiest game you ever play. So yes, I understand people hopping into this game like, this game is cool. You know what? Never mind. I didn't get a chance to blink before I had like 3 throwing knives, a shotgun, and a sword all in my at my character at once. I'm just like, yeah, what? I don't even know what happened there. There was just so much stuff going on. Oh, also, this game can be incredibly chaotic at times. As a matter of fact, it's such a fast-paced game that usually a lot of different things are going on at once. Especially if you're playing against all light players, yeah, you might as well not even like pick up the controller at that point, because it's just like you will be taken down before you realize what happened. And I'm not trying to say you shouldn't play this game, but I'm going to say that if you are going to play this game, please understand you're not going to be given any mercy. It's not like they actually care about new players coming here. Instead, they're like, you're either competitive or you get stomped on. And it's like, well, yeah, so it's not beginner friendly, and there's no aspect of the game that really is beginner friendly, really. And it's just like, yeah. But that's what seems to be the strategy of the finals, where they're like, we want to make our game more approachable, so we're going to make it like every other game. It's just like your game is faster, and your game has more, it needs a quicker reaction time. Like, so it's just like, if you're trying to be like every other game, but you have aspects of the game that make your game more unique already, trying to be like every other game is actually counterproductive, because that's against the mechanics of the game. The game is very I want to use the word reactive, but that's not the right word. It's very fast paced. It's a very fast paced game where you can react in the matter of split seconds. It is a very high movement, fast paced game, and with that, it's not really catered to people who are beginners. I'm not gonna say that it can't be. I'm saying that it's a really fast paced game that you can do a lot of different things in, and for people who have spent their time mastering the mechanics, they're gonna be the best at the game. So again, stuff like Bank It would have been a better game, because all you need to do, and they needed a better tutorial for that. All you need to do was get the objective of getting the coins and then staying alive, and then you could have had people who were like experts at the game protecting the people with coins and allowing them to get their coin deposited, so the game would actually be fun for everyone involved. In other words, you could have people who were very skilled with people who were not skilled, and that being taught, or at least that dynamic being established, so people could actually get used to the game. And what I think they should have done is, for people who had a higher skills, like, hey, this person may not be good at the game, you should educate them a little bit. Feel free to turn your mic on and show them how to play this, because that was something that wasn't happening. It was encouraged in the beginning for people to use mics, but I feel like it should have been encouraged for people to try to teach their team how to play the game, because what we have now is a lot of toxic people, just straight up. You have a lot of people saying, "Oh, you suck at the game," and so I just turn my mic off now. I don't even try to turn the mic on. And if you had just even a prompt, say, "Hey, someone might not know how to play this game. If they don't seem to understand the objective, kind of show them the objective," and that would have done a lot in terms of making it that people would have understood the objective. I was able to pick up on it later on, but that's one of those things that, again, if you want a game to be approachable and beginner friendly, you have to have the instructions be clear. You have to have the objective as clear as possible. If you don't know what you're doing or what the objective is, you'll wander aimlessly. And that's kind of what was happening. It was like people didn't really know how to play the game, so they were playing it in a sense. They were like, okay, we don't know what the objective is. They were playing it like Team Deathmatch. It's like, okay, but you're not going to win playing Team Deathmatch. If you want to win, you need to get the coins and deposit them. Now, you can play Team Deathmatch on the people who have a lot of coins, because you want to get their coins, and then we want to deposit them for our team, but you have to understand that's what the objective is. Which is why, again, they should have had Team Deathmatch and Bank It in one game, because for the people who didn't want to play Bank It, they could have played Team Deathmatch, which, again, that would have been more catering to their skills. Not only that, but Team Deathmatch would have complemented Bank It. But they never. The only time that ever happened was Season 4, when they introduced Team Deathmatch, and then Season 5 they brought Team Deathmatch. They should have had Team Deathmatch and Bank It in the same season, but unfortunately they got rid of it entirely. So yeah, all this rambling to say, they've made some decisions that are questionable, that don't make a lot of sense. They're trying to make their game more approachable for new players, but honestly, all they've done is made it actually much harder for new players to play, and this game is incredibly sweaty and incredibly competitive, And it's just like, it's not in any way beginner friendly. It's not in any way approachable. It's not in any way playable. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, if you're someone who likes super competitive games, then yeah, you're gonna be fine in this new atmosphere. But I just don't think it's enjoyable to play anymore. Again, quick cash isn't fun. I don't think it's fun. Maybe some people do. I don't. Head to head isn't fun because that's the same game. Power Shift is fun, but if you're playing it for the first time and you don't know what the objective is, even if you do know what the objective is, odds are you're probably not going to be able to knock a heavy off of the platform if they have a healing piece up there. And they might change that, and just like, even if you change this aspect of the game, the damage is already done. The damage is already done. This game is just not worth its salt. It's just not worth the attention anymore. It's not unique anymore. It's not cool anymore. And more than anything, it's not special anymore. It used to be different than all the other games. Now it's trying to be samey. And it's doing what all the other games do. All the other games does. And it's doing what all the other games do now. And so it's not special anymore. It used to stand out. It used to be niche. It used to have aspects of the game that you couldn't get anywhere else. And now it's just doing what every other game does as a way of being approachable. And it's just like, okay, so you decide to take away the things that people are actually here for and replace it with things that they could find anywhere else. If you're trying to stand out, why would you try to fit in? Like, standing out is the opposite of fitting in. Standing out is actually being loud, wearing neon, doing something that makes you get attention as opposed to being like everyone else. And the finals decided we want to be more like everyone else, so we're going to take away the aspects of the game that make our game unique and make it more like other games. Yeah. So if they lose their player base entirely, or a good majority of them at this point, it's well deserved. And I don't like the idea of thinking the fact that this game is probably going to be shut down in a few years. But at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be sad. I mean, I'm already sad. I'm already sad because the game that I loved has devolved into something entirely different than what I knew. And it's just a shell of its former self. It is not Bankit anymore. It is not Terminal Attack anymore. It doesn't have those cool aspects that made it cool anymore. It's just a samey game that's just like Warzone or any other Call of Duty game. But yeah, it's the finals. It looks big and flashy, but really, it's not special. Like, again, let's say this is the first time you play this game, you're like, well, this game is so cool. After like a month or two, not even a month, you play this game, it's like, okay, well, I mean, it was cool like the first time I played it, but it's not really all that fun because it's just super hyper competitive. It's like a lot of other games that I play, like Titanfall or whatever, and it's cool. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not cool, but it's not unique. It doesn't stand out. There's nothing about it that really draws me in. It's like, yeah, if you had Bankit and Terminal Attack still on as options, you would have other things that would draw other people in. Because guess what? Not everyone wants to play Team Deathmatch all the time. There's a reason that Free-for-All is a thing, or Capture the Flag, or what's the other one? Domination are different type of game. Now, we can do game modes like that, but it's like the point I'm making is that everyone doesn't come to your game for the same reason. So when you take away the reasons that people come to your game, you take away reasons to play your game. And the reason I came to this game, the reason I played this game was because of Bankit. And the only reason I was still playing Team Deathmatch was because this was the closest thing that I had to Bankit. And now that experience has been completely just stripped of really any enjoyment, and it's just hyper competitive now, I'm just like, I don't think I want to be trying to casually play a game that's so hyper competitive that no like aspect of it is in any way casual. I said that wrong. No aspect of it is in any way casual, and I would rather go to an experience that I enjoy. And again, the finals for me is just repetitive at this point. It's not fun. It's repetitive. It feels like other games I've played. And again, I've had more fun going back to MW, like I said, Modern Warfare 2019 and like the other shooters as opposed to the finals, because it's just like, this game is samey now. This game is samey. It's not different. It's not unique. It doesn't stand out. It doesn't stand out amongst the crowd. Yes, it's free to play. That's probably the only thing about it that actually makes it even worthwhile. But it's just like, I would have paid for this game when it still had Bankit, when it still had Terminal Attack. I wouldn't pay for this. I wouldn't pay for this. I wouldn't pay for this because I'm just like, what is this game? What does it offer? What's special about it? What makes it stand out? And the answer is nothing. It's besides it having flashy background. Like I said, I think the cool thing about this game probably is the fact that you have announcers and stuff, and it's announced like a game show. But outside of that, it's like cool. That's a cool, unique aspect of this game. But that gets old really quickly. It's like, okay, that's cool. It's different. It's not something that like other games have done. But like if you look at what's the other game that does that? Splitgate in a lot of ways does that. It's like, okay, it's a competitive shooter. It's basically paintball. It's like, that's fun and all, and that's cool for the first time you come across it and the first time you discover it. But again, that gets old really quickly. That's one of those things, it's like, that's cool about the game. That's unique about the game. But it doesn't make the game stand out. It doesn't make the game special. So yeah, maybe I will just make an hour podcast about how great Bankit was, all the things that I loved about that game, and how I wish they'd bring it back. And again, just talk to the wind and talk to the choir on this one, preach to the choir on this one, because again, I'm talking to no one, and the devs are never going to hear this. So if they do hear this, please bring Bankit back, please bring Terminal Attack back, add it to your game, don't take aspects away from your game that actually make it special, and make your game unique as opposed to samey. But hey, you know, you guys think you know what's better for the player base. Again, Paramount understood that when they made a mistake, they needed to correct it in order to get engagement for their movie. And that's why they're an amazing franchise. I don't think Embark has that spunk in them. I don't think they have the ability to really open their ears and really see what the player base wants. And I'm not trying to say they need to listen to the player base. What I'm saying is that if there are aspects of your game that people like, I feel like you should cater to that part of your audience, and especially people who have been there for that specific reason. Again, people quit this game when Terminal Attack got taken away. Like I said, they tolerate. The word, I guess the best word is tolerated, because they tolerated the changes. But it's like, I'm here for this though. This is what I enjoy. This is what I like about this game. If this is not going to be here, then why would I tolerate this gameplay? I don't want to play a game that doesn't have anything that draws me to it. If there's nothing about this game that's unique, why am I here? And that's what it really feels like for a lot of people. It's just like, why am I here? Why am I wasting my time? I'm like, again, this is the first time for me in particular. I'm just like, I don't know why I turned on this game. Well, it's a habit. It's not even that it's a habit anymore. At this point, it's a sad practice, because where I was doing this because I actually enjoyed every time I played the game and every experience felt new. This just feels like sad. It feels broken. It feels samey. And then the other thing too, and I don't know if they've even taken this into account or even noticed this, they changed something with the mechanics about the destruction mechanics that make buildings fall off the map. And this has been a normal new practice, by the way, that I don't think they've even taken into account. As a matter of fact, I should do a whole section on this alone. Instead of buildings collapsing in on each other, where it used to just collapse downwards, now they just fall over. They almost just collapse off the map. And yeah, the cool thing about the destruction mechanics is that it is a game that has destruction in it, which I guess that's kind of cool. But again, after a while that gets old. But the thing that is now very strange is that instead of buildings collapsing downwards or collapsing into each other like it used to, they just fall over and off the map. And it's just like, so there have been people who played this game and the building got destroyed and then they ended up getting taken out because the building fell off the edge. And it's like, how do you get out of that situation? Well, you get out of the building quickly. How? If you don't have any destructive material or anything to destroy the walls, if the building decides to tumble over with you in it, unless you can get to a window before the whole building goes away, you're just cooked. And just let's hope that you have a chance to get to a window, assuming you know what's even going on. Because then you just see the building collapsing, you just see everything flipping, and then all of a sudden, you're coined. You're like, what just happened? How did I fall? And you might be able to see the replay and understand what happened, but no, the whole building has collapsed, and now you're inside the building. while it's going off the cliff. And I don't know. I'm not saying that that's a bad mechanic change, but it is a pattern I've been noticing, that buildings just fall off the map now, or they just fall over, or sometimes there's more destruction than it seems necessary. And I'm like, I don't know if I like this change, honestly, because like one of the things I didn't like was the goo change, like where it used to be if you toss it, you would still get your 2 layers. There are times I will toss a goo grenade, and it'll just give me 1 layer high. And I'm just like, it was supposed to be a goo wall, not a goo layer. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's an instantly deployable wall, as opposed to, it's no longer an instantly deployable wall. Now it's just 4 goo balls next to each other, and they are not doing anything to block the fire. Again, there's been just so many times where it just does not deploy properly. And I'm like, well, now this seems useless, because there have been times I've tossed it, and expected it to do a certain thing, and it just didn't function the same. I don't know what they changed that made the goo like not deploy the way that it used to, but now I get 1 layer instead of 2 layers, and I'll be lucky if I get 2 layers. And I'm like, okay, well, now I can't even block bullets properly, because the way goo works has changed. And it's just like, I understand they're trying to upgrade aspects of their game to make it unique and different and such, but yeah, they've done a lot of different things that make this season just feel yucky and gross and weird, and ugh. Especially when they took away like the healing mechanic in Team Deathmatch. Now, again, I understand this was something they should have done a long time ago, but I feel like in this case, because they did it so far into the season, especially with people who were like dependent on defibrillators, or like who use it as like a medium, who used to like use defibrillators on a regular. Gosh, I'm not saying these words correctly. They had to completely change their strategy as to how they played the game, because that was just changed and attacked. And I'm like, I understand they had to change aspects of their game, but this kind of felt random. So yeah, this is where I'm at. If the final fails, their failure is well deserved at this point. I can't even like defend them. If they fail, their servers go offline, or they decide that they're not going to continue to service this game anymore because they're not getting any more players. I understand fully, because at this point it's just like, you guys are making decisions that don't make a lot of sense, and I can't vouch for you. I don't want to vouch for you. I don't think a lot of people are going to continue playing this game, or they're going to go to another game or a different game, because again, it's not fun anymore. It's not unique anymore. It's not special anymore. It's just samey. They've taken away aspects of the game that people liked. They don't seem to have any intention of bringing them back, which maybe they just have servers that can handle it, which, okay, I would pay for you to have servers for Bankit and Terminal Attack. Like, I would literally pay you for this game to do that. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to listen to the player base. I don't think they're really going to care about what people think on this aspect of the game, think about the game now. The devs know best, so I think that's kind of where it ends. Honestly, again, if the player base continues to fall down, it's inevitably probably going to get shut down. So, yeah, I don't have any hope that it will turn around. I'm sure that this is just going to get worse from here, and that people are just going to continue falling off, and at some point they realize, oh, maybe we took away aspects of the game that people liked. I don't think they'll ever have that moment of reflection where that actually clicks to them. But yeah, if they ever do have a chance to reflect, and they actually ever have a chance to listen to, let's say, this podcast or this little piece, that's it. They took away aspects of the game that people liked, and people got tired of it. It's like, we tolerated your game for this long, but now that you're just gonna continue taking away aspects of the game that we like, we're just gonna go elsewhere because we're tired of disappointment. Which, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you go somewhere else if every time you get excited for something, you're just burned by the result? And not only that, but people, the thing that you expect to be consistent, it gets changed. And on a consistent basis. It's like, oh, the only thing that's consistent is change. But this change is not a necessary one. It's one that the devs thought was necessary. It's like, so I understand that change is something that happens, but when you feel the need to change aspects of the game that people like, it's just like, you just don't care about what your players enjoy then. It's like, well, I mean, they'll adapt to it. It's like, assuming that people are going to adapt to something that was an unnecessary change is in a lot of ways like dismissive of people's feelings. It's like, oh well, I mean, you'll get used to it, or you'll get used to the new change. It's just like you're doing what Microsoft is doing, where they're like, okay, well, we're setting down Microsoft 10, and all you guys just have to cope with it. It's just like, well, or we can just go to a different system that doesn't do this to us, or we can just go to a different what do you call OS that we don't have to worry about someone monopolizing, our loyalty. It's just like, yeah, if that's what you feel about us, and you don't care about like things being consistent, and you just want to change the rules, we're going to go where it's safer and where you actually hear our voices and you actually understand what we're saying and why we're saying it, as opposed to you just ignoring how we feel about the issue. So, yeah. I wish the finals well, but, man, I have to jump ship on this one. Again, this game is a shell of its former self. It is not the same game.